I mean, medtech is really, really unique, and you need investors that truly understand the industry, the associated timelines, the regulatory expectations, the clinical data collections, the market adoptions. We, as far as medtech goes, have a very straightforward and relatively expedient path through the FDA. It's a 510(k), but like any medical device company, we can't go out and, go and get revenue and show we're getting revenue. In fact, it's not legal to go out and market a medical device until you've gotten FDA clearance. So it's a very different spin on this. And when you start talking with the more traditional hard tech investors or AI investors or robotics investors, they get really excited and interested until they realize, wait a second, you're not going to get revenue for 2+ years, right? So having people that really understand the timelines and how this goes about it was really important. And NYA was really, really great to work with. I mean, they were incredibly professional, incredibly diligent in their reviews of the companies. They interviewed a number of surgeons, and in fact, the information that they gathered really helped to catalyze other investors, both angel investors and ultimately some VCs to join in with us. So it's been a real pleasure working with folks that really get this industry, and that helped us a lot.
When you look at medical technology companies where the story is so straightforward, it should get a look, right? So I will say that sometimes you'll hear a pitch that sounds very different than what Greg just said, where you'll spend a lot of time trying to figure out, no, wait, why does this matter? But I'm old enough now that I remember when stealth navigation technology first came into neurosurgery, and this idea that you could, put a frame on someone's head, get the scan, bring them into the OR, and then suddenly know where everything in the room, including the instruments and the surgeons and the frame and the brain and the tumor or the target, just to know that was just simply profound, right? But the technology that enabled is such that now you need these very high resolution maps in order to place a probe, an electrode, potentially gene therapy. And so that resolution requires that an assumption that stealth always made is, be broken, which is the brain is not a rigid structure on a map. A brain is sort of doing this. And so I think that the idea that you could update stealth with this, sort of soft tissue kind of, conception of the brain is just, it's immediately obvious what that sort of accomplishes. And so that's why it's easy to get excited. It doesn't require a lot of imagination.